Good afternoon. It's Arlo Johnson from Vernon, British Columbia at 12:50 p.m. on January the 25th, 2024. Coming to you today, and hope I'm finding you well and no bad sickness or something. If there is, hopefully you'll get over it soon. Or help is on the way, like they say. The winter is coming along here quite good in Vernon, British Columbia, in Okanagan Valley here. It's like 40 degrees Fahrenheit today. That's 8 degrees above freezing. Snow is disappearing. And we had, some real cold days, at least 1.5 days, minus 20, 25 degrees below zero for 2 days. And then we had snow, most likely 2 feet of snow by now over that period. It's down, it's hard, most places it's shrunk right down. So that's could be a very welcome winter, if that's the case, because it's only another 4 or 5 days at the end of the month. Then we're into February, and who knows? We've had people out golfing in February here before. Could happen again. That means we've had a really rough winter, a whole 1.5 days of it. And that suits me just fine. And I don't know where you've been this winter, but hopefully you didn't have to shovel too much snow and didn't get too cold, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I don't wish that on anyone. So anyway, I thought we'd talk a little bit today about when God said, you are wonderfully and miraculously or whatever made. He wasn't kidding. For instance, there's a guy that sits next to me here at our table, and he's on my left side. A very nice guy. He's about 92, 93, always dressed very well. But he's an old cowboy, from cowboy, and he doesn't give that up. He has, button-down, button shirts and Western suits and stuff, and always something every day. And he prides himself in that. But he has a scooter in the shed here, but he doesn't really like driving it anymore because of his macular degeneration that's taking place. He's getting shots right in the eye for it now. But anyway, he can't see the edge of the sidewalk. He doesn't know where it ends. So he's scared to drive his scooter. So what really made me think of this is I was reading something the other day about basically this scenario. Somebody comes along to you and says, I want to buy your eyes. I'll give you $10 million for them, but I want both of them. Do you agree or not? I'll give you $10 million. And you would most likely say no, I couldn't do that. So he could offer 50 million. You'd look at him and say, can't do that either. In other words, your eyes and my eyes are priceless. What about the rest of the things? The eyes most likely are the most valuable thing this body has. when you think about it. Like the, I forget how many uh, nerve endings and stuff. You know, the eye uh, registers, the images register on the back of the eye, and the receptors on the back of the eye send signals to the brain, and the brain interprets these signals as an image, and that's what you see. That's what your brain sees. Now, they claim that the eyes can't be transplanted. The cornea can be transplanted, but not the eye. They say that there's a sort of a nerve center goes from the eye back and connects to the nerve deal that goes to the brain. But the main one of it is only about 2 inches long from the eye to where it connects to this channel to the brain or whatever. And it's only about 1/5 of an inch wide. But in that channel, there's about 1 million nerve deals going through there, different ones. So there is no way that they could reconnect that. Now, how can that be? You know, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? When you think about it, for people to say, we just, progressed from a frog or a monkey or whatever. That is so ridiculous. You know, we replicate, and it's unbelievable, but how it happens. But a man's seed, a little tiny, little wiggly seed that gets into a woman's egg and buries itself in there, carries all this information. And how it does that, I have no idea. And it has the information to create another human being. And with, a lot of times with the traits of the father that came from. The skin color, hair, everything, that's pretty distinctive. You're either, if you're a white male, you most likely have a white child. If you're a black male, you'll most likely have a black child. And it never fails. Now, you talk about priceless. That is priceless. And, I think about things like that actually justify the fact that God tells the truth. And Jesus Christ tells the truth. And you can't say that about anybody else. And it's not just on Tuesdays that they tell the truth. They always tell the truth. And it's built into them that they are the ones who are the truth tellers. And it's you and I who can go off base and start believing a bunch of hooey. Or maybe make it up even. But, it really hit home to me when I realized that something like your eyes, mine have been with me now for another month or two, be 90 years. Still working, not bad. I had cataracts, cataracts? I guess I had them taken off or something. And they did. they peeled them off and put another lens on there. And I ended up 20/20 vision. Not bad, eh? They got clouded over with this film of some kind, and all they did is peel that off. How he did that, I don't know, but he did it one eye at a time, and you know, it wasn't painful really or anything. I just had to keep them covered for a little while and use drops and stuff in there, but. Yeah, I thought about it and I thought, a little risky doing this, but I guess not really. It's not that risky. When they do something like that, they do it every day. It's not that something can't go wrong, and then I guess they do once in a while and kind of miss the mark a little, but they usually can fix it. But, you know, to do something like that, you know, the eye doctor, I go to an eye doctor, eye surgeon actually, and he's pull this eye up, no, this eye, no, this eye, gee. A couple of times my bottom eyelid drops down and you're looking at a red, open kind of eye, it makes it look awful, and he pulls it up. Well, I've done it twice. And my eye's starting to look pretty red again. Might have to do it again. That's a fixer-upper deal. This one is still okay. But the other one, the muscle is weak and it drops down. Yeah, I guess I've had a few adjustments. I had them go in and cut out and scrape out my prostate gland, and that's got to be 10 years ago now, and it's still working okay. But that was quite a deal. And then, unbeknownst to me, basically, I can't smell. I never have been able to smell. So, when I was living alone, I'd have stuff in the fridge that, even a dog wouldn't eat. But I didn't know it. But I let something go too long, and I ate it, I guess. So I think it was some meat of some kind. And I got, food poisoning is really what it was. And I just couldn't quit. I had to go to the hospital to get them to stop it. And they did. And while I was in there, for some reason, they were sending me to have a test here, and an x-ray there, and a CT scan here, and a full body deal there, and bone scan, and I thought, what is all that? Why am I doing this? I just got in here because I had frickin' diarrhea. And they said, we've got to send you to Kelowna. You're going to have stents put in your heart. You've got 3 aneurysms. Oh no, 2. He said, you got 2 aneurysms. One is not too bad, but the other one is ready to blow. He said, it's that bad. You got to get in there right now. So in I went. They made 2 little slits down in my crotch, one on each side, about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch long maybe. And they went up one side with a camera, light and whatever, and up the other side with knives and whatever they do. And they blocked off or cut out this big artery that was ready to blow. And they ended up finding another one, so they put in 3. I didn't know anything about it. I was in there, I don't know if I stayed overnight. I don't think so. I think I was in there early in the morning, and I went home in the evening. And I had the operation like, 9 o'clock in the morning or something. And I ended up with 2 Band-Aids down there. That's it. And they just said, be very careful. Don't stretch too much or something, or it'll start bleeding. So, careful. And I thought, how can you do this kind of stuff? How did you go in there, pull these stents in there, and when they pull them apart, they get smaller and smaller, and then when they push them together, they get bigger and bigger, and then they gotta lock them in there, and then the flesh or the whatever grows into them, and grows right into it, and there they are. So the repair's been made. And I think that's quite an advance or something. I mean, really, how tricky can it be? One goes in there and they do it on a screen. I didn't see it because they, what did I have? Did I have an anesthetic? I forget. Yes, it was an anesthetic. When I had the prostate, they gave me a local or whatever it's called in my back here somewhere, and everything below that was frozen or whatever. And did that ever take a long time to get out of there? I honestly felt like both my legs were like 2 foot thick trees. They were so bulky and so heavy, I couldn't move them. And I thought, oh my God. But anyway, by evening, it kind of drifted off. Yeah, so I guess when I think back on it, I've had a couple of things happen, but nothing, nothing too particular. And I never gave a thought to it. Like, I never went in and said, oh, I got to have an operation on the heart. I do nothing about it. Nothing. So, I've been lucky, I guess. Very lucky. Like, things happened to make me go into the hospital at that time. I didn't go to Kelowna to the heart specialist area there because I had diarrhea. No, the diarrhea put me in the hospital, so they found out I'd have heart failure. The doctor did a report for me that I had to send away here a month ago, and I looked at it before I sent it away, before I mailed it, and he had in there suffers from COPD. I thought, what are you talking about? And also has had heart failure, has back problems that makes it hard for him to walk sometimes. Well, that part's true. I didn't know I had COPD, and I didn't know that my heart had failed, but I guess he classed that aneurysm deal as a failure. They had to go in and repair the heart. Now, when my dad was growing up 50, 70 years ago, 80 years, 90 years ago, well, over that, 100 years ago, we wouldn't have that. Couldn't have done that. That's quite a thing, how things change. Mind you, I'm very glad of that, but, I'm glad that they did it, and it was no great discomfort to me to fix something like that. But I don't think I'm the kind of person that, if something happens to me, I get sick or whatever, that I'm going to say, oh, you're going to give me more pills, you got to do this, do that. I can't die now. I'm like, nah, I wouldn't do that. I don't believe that you should be kicking and screaming to try to live another day or two. We're going to die. I'm going to die anyway. I know that. You should know that. Everybody dies. We're here on a temporary deal, just like the planet we live on. It's not forever. It's for a long time, but it's not forever. We're not forever either. And when you consider who we belong to and who put us together and who created us, it's not that he's creating people every day and hair and eyes and nose and whatever. No, he created a system to do this. Bang, 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 just a replicating system. It's beyond anything that human mind could ever think of. Never could think of that. Or create that. I was also listening and to somebody on I think it was on YouTube channel of some kind, religious channel speaker, and he was going on about the elect. That it's some place, I can't remember the name, the verse or whatever it was, but it's in the Bible, where God and I suppose the Word, Jesus, were discussing the fact that the elite would be the ones that would be saved. And they knew in advance exactly who they are, or who they would be. Now, if that's the case, what percentage of human beings are elite, are the elect? And how would you know? And the fact that God knew in advance and planned for this, planned that Jesus Christ would have to die for this elite elect to make it through this world in one piece and be acceptable to him in the next world. That's quite a plan. That's greater than any plan that human nature or men or women could ever devise, ever. Like there's things that people say, oh, that can't be. I tell you, it can be. The things that God has in mind for us, we haven't even thought about it. We can't even imagine it. That alone should wake people up, should wake a person up and say, oh boy. There's a lot to look forward to here. And there really is a lot to look forward to for human beings that believe what God says, not what the professor says or a politician says or a preacher says. I shouldn't say everything a preacher says is wrong. Some preachers are most likely pretty good that they don't tangle off on their own tangent and forget what God has said about things. Because there's got to be a lot of that. When you have thousands of different kinds of churches and there's only one correct way to believe it, there's problems. Yeah. But anyway, that shows how valuable you are when you consider just your eyes alone. valuable, priceless. God looks at you being priceless. That's hard for a person to swallow, isn't it? And thank goodness it's that way, though. So, being you're priceless, I'm glad I met you. I haven't met you yet, but maybe I will someday. In the meantime, I'm going to ask God to bless this priceless person you are, and we'll see you later.